Investors and most knowledgeable experts in this industry from really around the globe. Just 18 months ago, we hosted the inaugural summit. Then, we believed the potential was significant, and today the energy in this room is electric because what was once potential is rapidly solidifying into reality. We're here because Arkansas is no longer just talking about the future of lithium, we're actually building it. First, I want to thank everyone who made this event possible. An endeavor of this magnitude, of course, requires lots of collaboration from global industry veterans, state partners, community leadership, and to our summit sponsors. We're deeply honored by your commitment to Arkansas. Your investment here is a loud and clear endorsement of our state, our resources, our people, and our purpose. I want to personally thank all of our sponsors, but would like to also have a shout out for our lithium level sponsors, companies that are really staking big claims in the Smackover formation. Standard Lithium, Equinor, ExxonMobil, Chevron, Albemarle, and our friends at the Arkansas State Chamber of Commerce and MHP-SI. Thank you. Your presence and your partnership is invaluable to us. I know you're out there, but I can't see a thing from the lights, but I hear you. Thank you. Also want to recognize the incredible effort of our summit organizers. This team is what translates the vision into reality. A special shout out to our Summit Planning Committee led by Clark Cogbill, Director of Department of Commerce and Communications. Clark, wherever you are, raise your hand. Somebody that I think everybody in this industry knows, Jesse Edmondson, a geologist and governmental affairs leader for Standard Lithium, and Cheryl Edwards, Vice President of Southern Arkansas University. To the entire AEDC, Arkansas Economic Development Commission, led by Clint O'Neill, their team was super helpful in making this happen. Our academic partners in Southern Arkansas University, SAU, and the University of Arkansas, the Venture Center, and all the companies and the organizations and the economic development professionals that helped put this thing together. So please join me in a round of applause for all of our sponsors and organizers. So why are we here? Gathered here in the heart of Arkansas. We're here to advance a single critical mission, building an upstream and midstream industry ecosystem in Arkansas that serves a critical link to serve the nation's lithium, battery, and energy storage supply chain. We want companies, investors, and policymakers to know that Arkansas is the first and best place to invest in the upstream and midstream sectors of this industry. This summit is a vital exchange point where the resource, the technology, the capital, and the policymakers meet. Over the next couple days, we're going to dive deep into discussions that will include the deployment and scalability of DLE, the imperative of midstream manufacturing, how we ensure we don't just extract the lithium, but we convert it into battery-grade materials, cathode, anode components, and ultimately finished battery packs and end-use products, financing and global market dynamics that will influence investment and production facilities, workforce development and infrastructure planning, because the lithium boom requires everything from skilled engineers to updated power grids and to new housing. And finally, state and federal policies that enable end-to-end development of the nation's lithium supply chain. This is a working summit. We expect actionable insights and new partnerships and relationships to emerge from these rooms. When we met in February 2024, we spoke of promise. Now in October 25, we speak of progress. Extraordinary progress has been made in Arkansas the last 18 months thanks to the commitment of our partners all across the state and country. First, the resource. Last fall, the U.S. Geological Survey confirmed what was expected. The Smackover Formation in South Arkansas holds a staggering 5 to 19 million tons of lithium and some of the highest grade lithium in North America. Second, regulatory certainty and tax exemptions. Our state government moved decisively to meet this opportunity. The Arkansas Oil and Gas Commission acted to provide the necessary regulatory frameworks, approving the first brine production units and establishing a competitive royalty rate. That paves the way for commercial activity. The state legislature, in its 2025 session, also passed legislation, Act 1012, a package of tax incentives and regulatory clarity. This act provides sales and use tax exemptions on equipment and for nearly all aspects of the lithium and grid energy storage value chain, from extraction all the way to battery recycling. It also modernizes our severance tax and ensures that the local counties that are hosting these operations actually benefit. These actions do send a clear message, we believe, that Arkansas is open for lithium and grid energy storage business. Third, major projects continue to advance. Investment dollars are flowing. Three of the most notable: the Smackover Lithium joint venture between Standard Lithium and Equinor is targeting 22,500 tons of annual battery-grade lithium carbonate production in its first phase. ExxonMobil is moving at a pace toward their goal of producing enough lithium to supply the equivalent manufacturing needs of about 1 million EVs per year in the first half of the 2030s. And the entry of Chevron earlier this year, acquiring 125,000 net acres, only reinforces the confidence that the world's most established energy companies have in the quality of the Arkansas brine. And others are continuing to come and knock on our doors. Fourth, our people and our future workforce. We know the resource is essential, but the resource of talent is just as important. Our industry-driven workforce initiatives, Lithium Learns and Lithium Works, centered at Arkansas Southern University, is creating a pipeline of talent that starts from K-12 and goes through technical training and on to four-year degrees. This progress from major resource confirmation, regulatory clarity, tax incentive legislation to hundreds of millions of private and public dollars of capital flowing in demonstrates an all-of-government and an all-of-industry commitment. And fifth, we're supporting the innovation of related technologies with the formation of the Arkansas Lithium Technology Accelerator, co-developed by Standard Lithium and the University of Arkansas and supported by AEDC and the Walton Family Foundation. It's actually operated by the Little Rock Venture Center that brings together the leading lithium producers with the best-of-breed technology companies in Arkansas for their mutual benefit. So for too long, the critical minerals needed to power our modern economy were sourced overseas, creating vulnerabilities in our modern economy and our national security, and we believe that era is ending. Arkansas is uniquely positioned in the intersection of geology, innovation, and proactive governance. We have a world-class resource in the Smackover Formation, pioneering DLE technology to extract it sustainably, global corporations committed to invest, and the legislative will to build the upstream and midstream supply chain right here in the state. We're not aiming to try to do everything, because it's just as important knowing what not to do as it is to know what to do. We can't be all things to all sections of the supply chain. So for now, we want to focus our strategy and lean into our natural advantages in building an industrial ecosystem around the upstream and midstream industry sectors. We'll leverage our expertise and the advantages that we have in oil and gas extraction, chemical processing, logistics, our central location, our low carbon and low energy costs, and our regulatory frameworks and permitting. And we aspire to become the most reliable, economic, and sustainable domestic lithium resource. We believe Arkansas can and will become a national leader in the lithium and grid energy storage value chain, and will play a central role in closing the gap to secure the battery supply chain for the nation. It's not a hope, but it's a declaration of our intent, backed by billions of investment and the full weight of the natural state's economic, regulatory, and workforce development policies and actions. And last, but certainly not least, it's completely aligned with the administration's goal of securing the nation's critical minerals and related supply chains. The vision of Arkansas as an economic leader, a place where businesses flourish, jobs are abundant, and opportunity is boundless, is not accidental. It's the result of focused and determined leadership. The progress the state has achieved over the last 3 years has many involved, but it's driven by one person. That person I have the honor of introducing this morning. The speed of our legislative response, the focus of our economic development strategy, our K-12, higher ed, workforce development initiatives, our business-friendly climate, and tireless commitment to making Arkansas the best place to live, work, raise a family, start a business, has all been shaped by her. She is a national leader, recognized across this country for her clarity, her purpose, her courage, and her bold conservative reforms. She sees opportunities where others see obstacles, and she has consistently prioritized economic freedom, lower taxes, and consumer choice over big government overreach. This is what can create the perfect conditions for a massive multi-billion-dollar industry like lithium to take root and thrive. She is committed to improve all aspects of our state faster and farther than ever before. Status quo is unacceptable, and aspiring to the best is foremost in everything she does. She is the architect of our economic transformation and the most effective advocate for Arkansas on the national and global stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in offering the warmest welcome to our 47th Governor, Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Good morning. You aren't kidding, these lights are pretty bright. It is great to be here and amazing to see so many people gathered for this event. And it's an honor to welcome you to the second annual Arkansas Lithium Innovation Summit. Hugh, thank you so much for laying out the landscape of Arkansas's lithium industry, and especially for the kind introduction. I may have to take you with me more often. That was better than I get in a lot of places. You know, when I was traveling with my dad as a kid, I got to see him get introduced a lot. And right after he first got elected into office, I remember going with him to an event, and the guy got up and said, "I've been told this man needs no introduction." And that's a good thing, because I've never heard of him. So we're already off to a much better start. But Hugh, your work to grow this industry in Arkansas's economy and job market over the past few years is second to none, and we are incredibly grateful for your leadership. Before Hugh took his job as the Arkansas Secretary of Commerce, he was the CEO of the largest energy company in our state. So this topic runs in his blood. In fact, we had to call him out of retirement to take this job, but if you know Hugh, you know that he's much happier in the arena than watching from the sidelines. There are far too many people here to thank today, but I do want to take a minute to express my gratitude to a couple, especially our team at AEDC, led by Clint O'Neill, and all of their partners across our state for helping make this summit happen and bringing everybody here together today. Thank you. I also want to thank our Lithium Summit sponsors, ExxonMobil, Standard Lithium, and Equinor, Chevron, Albemarle, the State Chamber, and MHPSI for fueling this event. I know many of you came in from out of state and even from out of the country to be here today. So thank you for traveling to Little Rock, and welcome. Hugh did a great job of explaining where we are today, poised to supply up to 19 million tons of lithium, on the verge of production at several major sites, investing in further growth through smart state-level tax credits, ready to be a leader not just in lithium extraction, but in upstream and midstream manufacturing as well. But I've always believed in one resource that Arkansas can count on above all others, and you'll be surprised. It's not timber or rice or steel or even lithium. While we do love those and we're very proud that they are here in our state, it's the great men and women who call Arkansas home who will be the difference makers for companies that invest here. Angela Meadows, a woman who grew up on the Arkansas-Louisiana border, who worked at a factory in El Dorado until it shut down, and then worked for 10 years as a school custodian. At the same time, she raised 3 kids alongside her husband, Anthony. At 48 years old, Angela was sitting in the hospital, scrolling on Facebook after her mother was recovering from knee surgery. She came across a post promoting something called the South Ark College Catalyst Program. It's a skills course offered in partnership with several chemical and lithium companies. Angela says it was completely out of her character, but something in that moment compelled her to apply, and she was accepted. During the day, she worked her job as a custodian, and 2 nights a week, she drove to El Dorado to learn how to be a chemical operator in the lithium industry. She graduated in September of 2023, and not long after was hired as a chemical operator by Standard Lithium. After a leap of faith and just 4 months in class, Angela literally doubled her income, something that was life-changing for her family. And she isn't just investing in her own household. She's contributing to a great industry and helping our entire state to thrive. We want stories like that to become the norm, not the exception across South Arkansas. That's why we're so happy to have you here, and it's why I hope this event inspires you to continue to grow in our state. But as much as lithium is a local issue, we also know it's a global one. Lithium is a critical component in the batteries found in everything from cars and cell phones to power tools. Unfortunately, batteries we currently buy are overwhelmingly from communist China. In fact, China controls more than 2/3 of the global lithium chemical supply. And make no mistake, the communist Chinese aren't making so many cheap batteries out of the goodness of their hearts. They want to control the entire global technology and critical mineral supply so that they can exert power over the United States and other countries. And we're not going to let that happen. I was proud to be the first governor in the country to kick communist China off of our farmland and out of our state. And now that President Trump is back in the White House, his team is working hard to unleash America's energy and critical mineral supply. Arkansas is ready to answer that call. We're training the workforce your industries need, investing in programs like the one Angela took part in all across our state through a slate of reforms called Arkansas Access. And we created an employer and job seeker site called Arkansas Launch. Think of it more like a sophisticated in-state LinkedIn to connect the workers you need with the jobs they need to fill, and helping them identify the training and certification required. We've cut permitting time for new energy products from 18 months down to just 6, and we're delivering capacity to the steady, affordable electricity that companies need. We've slashed taxes not once, not twice, but 3 times, lowering the top rate by 20% in the last 3 years alone. And we have leaders ready to pick up the phone and answer your questions day or night, because we don't just want to do lithium extraction. We want to build out the conversion, the refining, and the manufacturing, all right here where this valuable resource sits. And with your help, we know that Arkansas will be a leader and an innovator in the global lithium market and help put this industry on the map for the United States. Thank you for joining us in Little Rock, and I hope the next 2 days are an opportunity for you to see all that Arkansas has to offer. I now have the opportunity to introduce one of my good friends, the chairman of the House Natural Resources Committee and Congress's only forester, Congressman Bruce Westerman. Now, I know that for those of you visiting from up north, you may notice that Congressman Westerman has a pretty strong Southern accent, but don't let it fool you. He's one of the smartest people I know and holds a master's degree from Yale University. He also has the honor of representing most of South Arkansas in Congress and understands industries like lithium more than anyone else on Capitol Hill. Congressman Westerman, thank you for your leadership. Thank you for all that you do for the state. Thank you for being here today. God bless you.